Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowen, and thank you all for joining me. So, a young teenage girl, I believe in Illinois, is on a swim team, and has been accused of hate speech because she has spoken out against a biological male coming into the female's locker room. Now, this has been a consistent problem, as you all know, with these transgender women believing they have the right to go into a biological female's restroom or biological female's locker room without any repercussions. Let's get right into this article, and you're going to find out the sordid details of this. Once again, here we go with this craziness in our country, but let's get right into this. And it says that a YMCA swimming coach in Illinois accused a 16-year-old girl of hate speech for voicing concerns over a male claiming to be a transgender woman walking nude in the girls' locker room. This is so morbid and sickening. Anyway, last April, Abigail Wheeler, a swimmer on the Springfield, Illinois YMCA spy swim team, was alarmed when a transgender woman was allowed to use the same locker room as the girls on her team. The girl brought her concerns to head swim coach Alex Totora, but he told her there was nothing he could do to stop it. But that didn't end the controversy, as shortly afterwards, several parents organized to bring their concerns to the YMCA's chief executive officer, Angie Soyle, Fox News reported. It's so sad that young teenagers have to deal with this kind of nonsense. The parents requested that the facility change its policy and require trans people to use single-person bathrooms to change in. But, of course, they're not going to do that because it takes extra money to build single-person bathrooms. They're not going to do that. They don't want to spend that extra money. Plus, they have an agenda. But let's go on. Some of the girls on the team also allegedly began hanging signs in the women-only locker room reading women's rights, biological women only, and safe sport. Safe Sport is a U.S. nonprofit authorized by Congress that is dedicated to ending physical, emotional, and sexual abuse in sports, Fox News noted. After the sign went up, though, Wheeler's father said that Coach Totora retaliated by saying the girl was engaged in hate speech and throwing her off the swim team. Totora allegedly told the girl she was, quote, not allowed to participate with the swim team and was asked to leave the pool area, her father says. For its part, the YMCA claims the girl is lying and that she was never kicked off the team. Here we go with the gaslighting, right? The statement that the swimmer was removed from the Y and prevented from participating on the swim team is false. She left the swim team and the YMCA on her own, said a spokesperson with the YMCA. Still, the organization has rules preventing complaints about transgenders using whatever bathroom suits their fancy and has lashed out at such complaints before. In August 2022, an 80-year-old woman was banned from YMCA in Port Townsend, Washington, for raising concerns about naked men walking around in the women's locker room. In January, a YMCA in San Diego went on an attack against a teen girl who was upset by a naked man seen inside the girl's locker room. The girl was reportedly called a bigot by YMCA staff. Also in Ohio, a judge ruled that a man claiming to be a woman was not guilty of flashing girls in the women's locker room, this part is comical to me, of a local YMCA only because he was so fat his genitals could not be seen. Wow. Former NCAA college swimming champ and women's sports advocate Riley Gaines is now organized to support the Illinois team with a rally to be held on Thursday at Rotary Park in Springfield in cooperation with the Illinois Freedom Caucus. And so she goes on to say, I want to read you what she has to say. She says, what we are seeing here is the result of the radical left's agenda, to put young girls in harm's way for the sake of catering to confused biological men who think they are women, In this case, a Springfield YMCA would try to silence and gaslight a high school girl, Abigail Wheeler, for speaking up against men exposing themselves and watching her fellow teammates change in their locker room. Where are her rights? Where are her feminist? Where are her feminist activists at? The legislators said in their statement. Absolutely. Where are the feminists at? That's the end of the article right there. Yeah, where are they? Where are they? What are they doing about this situation? What are all these women that's rah for women's rights? You know what I mean? Where are they? You got to wonder about that, right? You know, what isn't it supposed to be a woman's right? You know, to privacy? Isn't it supposed to be a woman's right? So where are the feminists? You can watch my earlier videos on that. I already made my argument about that. I mean, where are they? You know, where are they? You know, they all rah for women's rights, but where are the advocates for fighting for young girls like this? Where are they? It's a shame that these organizations have to be created to fight for simple human rights, you know? But my question is, according to what the article states, that this young girl was being accused of hate speech for voicing her concern about a biological male coming into the girls' women's locker room, okay? My question is, how is that hate speech? How is that hate speech? In what ways or what words did she use that would indicate that that was hate speech? Let me tell you what hate speech really is. Let me tell you what that is. There is no such thing as hate speech. Hate speech is a term that was created by the Frankfurt School Marxists in the 1930s in order to control what people said. If you said anything against their agenda or that opposed their communist infiltration, then it would be deemed hate speech. And they were very sophisticated on how they created mechanisms to suggest and even prove that what this person was saying that was against their agenda was truly hate speech. Okay? There's no such thing as true hate speech. That was created by the Frankfurt School Marxists in order to shut the mouths of anyone who spoke against their agenda. Hate speech. Think about that for a moment. If I say, okay, I disagree with a biological male going into a female locker room or a female bathroom, then I disagree with that. That's hate speech. Describe to me how it's hate speech. Let's just deal with this on a logical statement, on a logical level. Describe to me how that's hate speech. In what way am I expressing hate by what I said? In what way is this young girl expressing hate by disagreeing or speaking out against a biological male, someone who's obviously has brain damage, okay, from coming into a female's restroom and dangling his you know what for all these young girls to see? Explain how that's hate speech. Now, I'm not saying what I just said. I'm talking about what she said. But even what I just said is not hate speech, because that's what he was doing. Is it true, what I just said? Yes, it was. Because he's dangling his you know what, where these girls can see this. That's sick and disgusting, and that person needs help. But see, the thing is, as sick and disgusting as this is, there's always hope. And what I mean by there's always hope, I don't just mean it from the perspective of a Christian who believes in the power of prayer and Jesus is coming back and this thing. Okay, yes, I understand. We talk about that all the time as Christians. But here's the deal. We have to make certain moves here on this physical three-dimensional realm in order to make things a little bit easier and tolerable for human beings while we're here. And what I mean by that is that we need to vote these people who are pushing these kind of policies out. As long as we keep voting for people in leadership positions and supporting people in leadership positions that support this kind of worldview, we're going to continue to get this kind of nonsense. Within the heart of every human being is good and darkness. Laws are created to restrain the darkness within. Now, true, there are some laws that are excessive, okay, and some laws that are crazy, like the Jim Crow laws that was excessive, wrong, and immoral. The laws that communists created in Russia and China and so forth to suppress people, those were sick, wicked laws, okay? They were excessive. But certain laws that are designed to restrain the darkness within the human heart are designed to do just that. And when you have people in leadership positions, whether it's on a local level, state level, federal level, whether it's in the church, whether it's in a religious faction, wherever, in the school systems or whatever, on the school board or whatever, when you have those kind of leaders in positions of authority, they're going to push their worldviews, especially when you have leaders who are policymakers and influencers of the mind. They're going to push these kind of rules and regulations that would allow the darkness of the human heart to be manifest. The key is voting these people out. It's not just praying, okay? As Christians, we know to pray, but we also got to be informed too. Because if we as Christians are voting, we need to vote for politicians. We need to support leaders and individuals who support morality. Yes, they need to get their votes. I get it. But come on, some things should be off limits, period. And this is one of them. A biological male, I don't care what he thinks in his mind. You can be whatever you want to be, bro. You can be a woman. That's fine. If you believe you're a woman, you believe you're a woman. That's your issue. That's your circumstance. You have a right to believe that. But you do not, or it shouldn't be, let me put it this way. It should not be allowed for a biological male, I don't care what he thinks and believes about himself, it should not be allowed for a biological male to go into a female's restroom or female's locker room with all his private parts exposed. It's wrong. Ethically, it's immoral. I don't care what nobody say. We ain't going to argue about this. Now, I understand, I have said this before, that I don't like arguing with people about transgenderism and stuff like that, because to me, it's pretty simple. You may think you're a male, you may think you're a woman, but you are not a woman. You may think you're a man, but you're not a man, okay? You know, a woman thinks you're a man. You may think, but you're not, okay? To me, it's simplistic. I don't want to get into an argument with someone who supports that view. But I also understand that it has to be addressed, because if no one says anything about this kind of encroachment in our societies and this encroachment in our schools, then it will fester and grow and grow and grow and get worse and worse and worse until it consumes everything. We need opposition. We need to critique this type of stuff. And this type of stuff needs to be known from the other side. That's why it's so important, I believe, for people to watch alternative news sources, because all alternative news sources are not wackos like the mainstream media wants you to believe. The mainstream media, for a vast majority of the time, are the true wackos. They're professional wackos. They know how to truly manipulate you. You see, because you got to understand, before there was any internet, okay, or any of that, we just had the mainstream media. So that's all we had. And these reporters and journalists and specialists and experts and all the rest were skilled in keeping us on their mental plantation, if you will. Their deadening mental plantation. They were skilled experts at doing that. But now that they have competition from alternative news sources, they have to demonize the alternative news sources by saying that they're full of conspiracy theories. How in the world would you know that alternative news sources are filled with conspiracy theorists if you never go to check to see it for yourself? Now, are there a lot of conspiracy theorists on the internet? Yes, I'm pretty sure. But there are conspiracy theorists in the mainstream media as well. Okay? And you'll never know until you try it. All I'm saying is this. At the end of this debate, it can be solved in part by people waking up and voting these individual leaders out of positions of authority that's pushing and promoting this stuff, that's encouraging this kind of stuff. It starts at the top and then moves down. You get rid of these crazy leaders and replace them with leaders that believe in right and wrong and have strong moral values, but are still able to be a politician or whatever. I get that. You're a politician, you got a politic, but at the same time, have some integrity about yourself. Have some moral values about yourself. And if you have those kind of people in positions of authority and leadership, this kind of stuff will not happen on a common basis. Let me end the video on this note. It all starts with the leadership. The leaders are the influencers of our society. You get the right leaders in positions of authority, then we can start making changes. You keep crazy leaders in positions of authority, you're going to continue to have this kind of nonsense. There's no true such thing as hate speech. There's no such thing. That's a trick, man. Don't even fall for that. But that's what I had to say about this. What do you guys think about this situation? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.